Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect, the respect that we deserve.
What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video. And today, we're going to do a very early prediction of the 2024 Senate races. I know, we are in 2022, and we're talking about 2024. Well, again, just like the past couple days, there's been, nothing interesting happening. And plus, I think it's actually a good idea to start predicting this early out, so we can compare, let's see here, March of 2022 to my predictions in September 2024. It's a good idea so we can see, okay, how states have trended since then, any big developments, somebody got stabbed or something like that. The point is, this is going to be a good baseline for us to go from. Now, again, I don't know if I'll do a 2024, Senate prediction every month, but expect one maybe at least once every 2 months. And, yeah. Now, before I forget, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, again, we try to reach 10,000 subscribers before May 1st. Again, May 1st is the deadline to hit 10,000 subs. Again, a merch store will be released if we do that. And, yeah. So let's get right into the video. So, 2024 is still whiles away out. And that is true, but I think it is a good idea to start doing a little bit of a prediction. So let's get rid of all the obvious states. California. I mean, Feinstein, yeah. She'll go get a Democrat again. But either way, it's a Democrat state no matter what you do. Hawaii, Washington, well, yeah, Washington will go Democrat, Just making sure, because, with Washington, it's weird for statewide elections. New Mexico, this time around, I don't think has a chance for Republicans. I mean, Heinrich won by, 24. And yeah, you had the Gary Johnson vote. But it's like, okay, let's say they split 70-30 Republican. That's still a huge landslide for Heinrich. So, either way, I just don't think he's a very, weak candidate. He's pretty strong in New Mexico, and he'll win easily, no matter who you run. Minnesota also, again, the club. She won by 24 in 2018. Again, she's not a quote-unquote moderate, but still, she does very good in Senate races in Minnesota, so I don't see it going Republican at all. And as for many of these other states, again, Maryland, I mean, do I have to say anything else? Delaware, New Jersey. New Jersey, we'll get to New Jersey in a second, but I think Delaware definitely goes Democrat. And the rest of the Northeast, I don't think. Barring a retirement from, Bernie Sanders or, Angus King, that's the only way I could see, Maine flipping if Angus King retires. But even if Bernie retires, it's still going to go Democrat or quote-unquote independent. That's bullshit, by the way. So, yeah, these are the for sure, no matter what you did, safe Democrat seats. Now, for the Republicans, this is where it gets a bit, cursed. Things get weird. But, all these states are, safe Republican. Missouri, Hawley's going to win by a lot. He beat a very popular incumbent in a blue wave year. So, yeah, he's not going to lose. Also, Indiana, that's not even going to be, again, Braun won this by a lot again. If he even runs again, who knows, but whoever runs there, that's a huge victory for the Republicans. And as you can tell, there's only 2 states that are not safe Republican that probably should be, but we'll get to that in a minute. So these are 8 Republican seats that you could argue about all day, but for sure, no matter what you did, these states would vote the way they did. Again, there's a couple cursed states here. This is looking like an LTE map in a nutshell. But yeah, so let's get rid of the more obvious states. Texas. Again, Cruz won this by 2.5 against O'Rourke. And again, 2018, I'll make it a whole video on the 2018 Senate race in Texas. Again, people are making this sound like that, oh, O'Rourke was a huge underdog, but he nearly upset the world. No! He had unlimited funding. He had basically the support of everybody, that didn't like Cruz, which was a lot of people back then, even a lot of Trump supporters despise Cruz. It was a blue wave year. All the national people were coming down to Texas, campaigning for O'Rourke. He still lost by 2.5. Give me a break about this being like, a safe Democrat seat. If Cruz runs again, which I think he will, he's going to win that seat by, 6, 7, 8 points easily. Now, as for Florida, again, the only reason it's not likely is because Rick Scott always gets himself in these, very close races, which he should win by a lot, but every single time, he barely pulls it off. But with Florida trending the way it is, I do think Rick Scott wins the state by like 4 or 5 points. It's pretty obvious he's going to win that race, but again, it's not going to be like safe Republican like it should be. As of now, I think Rick Scott wins it by, 3, 4, 5 points, relatively speaking. Now, there's 2 Republican states that you may be asking what the hell is going on here. I'm, of course, talking about Montana and West Virginia. People need to realize that this is where Jon Tester is, and this is where Joe Manchin is. And I'm going to get this out of the way right off the bat. Tester's not winning again. He is not winning. He's done. He's going to lose by 5 to 6 points. Every single time this guy has ran is either against a shitty Republican in a blue wave year, or everything just supported him. I mean, everything that could go right for this guy has gone right. But in 2024... he's potentially dealing with a Trump on the ballot. He's not going to survive that, all right? Stop this garbage that Tester's going to win. He's not going to survive with Trump on the ballot. He is done. He's gotten lucky every single time. And that luck's running out quickly. So Montana is an easy flip for the Republicans. And for West Virginia, this is where my brain cells are, just collapsing upon itself. West Virginia, it should be safe Republican, but I do think, as of now, West Virginia will be a likely Republican seat. Again, it is incredibly cursed, but with Manchin all but saying he's going to run for re-election, he's going to still win like 45% of the vote. It's a matter of the Republicans, unite behind one candidate, not this garbage of 3 different Republicans on the ballot and Manchin barely wins. So Joe Manchin, I think, is done. It's a matter of, if Republicans are stupid enough to, run 5 candidates at once like they did in freaking 2018. I mean, seriously, look at this. Manchin should have lost this race, but Republicans blew it. They botched it. This should have been a free flip. And as of now, I think he wins. And again, West Virginia's likely Republican is just the most cursed thing in this timeline. This timeline is just cursed. Reset the Matrix. Go back. Just go back before this COVID crap. This just hurts my brain. But yeah, as for the 2, very likely Democrat seats, New Jersey and Virginia. Now, Virginia, you may say, oh, well, Tim Kaine, even if he runs again, he is, won by 16, in 2018. Again, blue wave year. In a state like Virginia, which may show signs of, trending a bit Republican, he's not going to win by 16 again. Now, if nobody runs on the ballot, yeah, he'll win by, infinite amount. But as of now, I think Tim Kaine, he's going to struggle, behind, well, I should say struggle, just struggle as he, more than he usually has in Virginia. As for New Jersey, though, I mean, look at this. Menendez, he only won this by 11 in a blue wave year. If you run like a Giga Chen, like Citarelli again, you could easily get this race within 10. Easily. And again, I think Republicans have learned their lesson in New Jersey. I did hear there's a couple, pretty solid candidates considering a run in 2024. So that should be interesting. So now we have the 6, interesting set of races. These are going to be the 6 fight to the death races of the night. And of course, there's a couple states that shouldn't be here, but with how elections work in the United States, they're here. Now, I'm going to get rid of my one hot take of the day. Brown is not going to win. Guys, listen. Yes, he won by, 7% in 2018. Once again, that was a blue wave here. And even so, look at the swing map. Most of the states won heavy Republican. In trend map also, look at this. The entire state trended Republican. This idea that Brown's going to win is because, he can appeal to those blue-collar Republicans that are racist. It's like, no. Sherrod Brown is not going to win again. It's going to be a very close race. I do think it'll be like within like 3 points, but I think Brown is done. He's not going to win re-election as of now. Again, if Republicans run like a Mike DeWine, he wins, but I don't see that happening. I don't think that's crazy enough to happen. So as of now, I think Brown is done. And that's 3 flips right there for Republicans. 2 of them are just have somebody on the candidate or on the ballot that's a good candidate and you win. As for Ohio, it really depends who the Republican is. Again, as long as it's not DeWine or anything like that, Republicans will win this race by 2 to 3 points, especially with Trump on the ballot. Again, I gotta reiterate, Trump on the ballot's gonna help Republicans vastly in a lot of these states. So again, that's just a fact. Now we get my home state of Wisconsin. I don't know what people making like Baldwin out to be. Can I just say this right off the bat? Baldwin is not this electoral juggernaut that the left wants you to think she is. She is not a strong candidate. Sure, she's the strongest candidate Democrats have left in Wisconsin, but that's not saying much. I mean, their second best candidate in Wisconsin, maybe like freaking Tony Evers, and he's awful. So yeah, Tammy Baldwin, she has gotten lucky twice in a row. In 2012, you had Obama on the ballot. This should have been the year that she should have lost. Again, this was a special election, or I should not say special election, it was an election for Herb Kohl's former seat. She should have won that race. She only won because Obama was on the ballot. She should have lost that, but she didn't. In 2018, you had Vukmir on the ballot, which that alone swings the state like 7 points Democrat. Plus, it was a blue wave year. So again, this is a race that, while Republicans wouldn't have won, they would have been significantly closer if Vukmir wasn't the candidate. She was an awful pick. I don't know why Trump supported her, and it blew up in his face. But Baldwin is not going to win. It's going to be a close race, but she's not. Again, a lot of these states, these incumbent Democrats, they've been holding on because, you know, they're quote-unquote moderates or like they're extremely lucky. Well, that's not going to happen in Wisconsin. I can guarantee you that. I mean, Baldwin, yeah, she's the most popular Democrat in Wisconsin, but again, that's not saying much. Congratulations. It's like saying you're first on the comments. Yeah, it's one candidate. Good job. So yeah, Wisconsin, I do believe, though, is another flip. Again, Trump on the ballot is such a huge thing, especially Wisconsin. Yeah, Trump will underperform in Waukesha, but the rest of the state, his turnout will be incredible, so it doesn't really matter. Now, as for Michigan, you know, Stabenow, I think, is going to win if she even runs. She may not even run, but it's going to be a very close race either way. I mean, in 2012, she won by impossible margins. In 2018, she won by, you know, closer than expected margins, especially in a blue wave here. So, Stabenow, I think, is going to win. It's going to be close, though. As for Pennsylvania, Casey, again, it depends if Casey runs. If Casey runs, I see this as like, you know, probably like a 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 point victory for Democrats. If Casey doesn't run, well, I think you know, that seat may flip. But as of now, I just don't think Republicans have a good enough candidate to win in the state of Pennsylvania. Again, it could happen. Not saying it's impossible, but just saying that Pennsylvania, it's one of those states where they love Bob Casey for some reason. I don't know why. Like, just why? So, we have 2 more states left on the board, and these are 2, how do I say it, unique states to look at. Nevada and Arizona. Let's get rid of Arizona right off the bat, because, guys, if Sinema wins her primary, or doesn't even have a primary challenger, she wins by 2 to 3 points. It's just that. I mean, yeah, she's not as popular as people make her out to seem to be, but she's still popular enough where, barring like a third-party vote or anything crazy like that happening, she's going to win by 2 to 3 points. And yeah, in 2018, she only won it by 2.5, but since then, she actually, you know, is fairly popular with Arizonians. Again, that's not saying much, but I'm just saying that Sinema does have, you know, a record of, you know, F.U. Biden, and Arizona likes this type of senators. Again, Arizona, I love people in Arizona, but some of your voting habits are just weird. Now, Nevada, on the other hand, oh boy. Can I just say this? Rosen is done. Rosen is probably the weakest statewide candidate Democrats have left in Nevada. He is done. I mean, the fact of the matter is this. In a blue wave year, he struggled hard, all right? I know it was an incumbent senator, Dean Heller, but still, it's like, okay, it's a blue wave year in Nevada, all right? This isn't like, a red wave year or anything like that. This is a blue wave year. And even so, you look at the trend map and, Las Vegas, that's where, let's see here, that's where Clark County is. It barely trended Democrat. I mean, sure, Washoe County's trending Democrat, but Clark County, Nye County, they're trending heavy Republican. I mean, Rosen's not popular there, if people even know who he is. I mean, there's one poll that only had like 15% of people say they knew who he was. His popularity was like dog shit. Like, give me a break. This guy's not gonna win. It's not gonna be a landslide, but it's gonna be a close race, but he's not gonna win as of now. And this, folks, is my current 2024 Senate race map. Again, it may look cursed, especially with West Virginia, Montana, Ohio. But again, you gotta take into account the candidates of each race, the state trends, all that stuff, and past results in these races. And as of now, I currently have Republicans flipping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Senate seats. So if Republicans win 54 this year, they're gonna have 59 upwards in 2024 if all goes well. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.